You're listening to Just Hit Play with your hosts, Peter and Nick Cabral. If you're tired of your stagnant, streamed music feed, then strap yourselves in for an intergenerational sonic journey through Peter and Nick's favorite songs.
Welcome to episode 28 of Just Hit Play. I'm your host, Peter. With me is my co-host, Nick. Nick, how are you?
I'm doing as well as always. We're getting to the end of my fall semester in school, so the workload's piling up and been a bit stressed here and there, but the end is near. I've got a lot of things to look forward to in December and the next couple weeks, so just keeping my eye on the prize at this point.
When is your last day of school?
So my last day of school is next Friday the 3rd.
Nice.
And then I have 2 exams, one on the 11th, one on the 14th. And then I'm off until January.
Nice. Do you have any plans for that time?
Yeah, I have 3 concerts, actually, that I have tickets for in December. The first is on the 9th, then I have one on the 11th after my exam that day, and one on the 29th. So...
And who are you seeing?
In order, I'm seeing Playboy Cardi, Thundercat, and Kaytranada.
Okay, so let me remember my Canadian geography. If you have an exam on the 11th, then you have to drive downtown Toronto. Is that correct?
Well, here's the thing. My exams have all been online for the past year and a half.
So you can do wherever the hell you want.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
It's nice. It gives me more flexibility for sure.
So then you can go see your show.
Exactly. Yeah. Right after an exam too. That'll be nice. Can wind down.
That's cool. And in our Brisbane studios is our lovely engineer, sound mixer, Darren. Darren, how are you?
I'm doing good. Not enjoying the rain though.
I love the rain, Darren. It's so nice.
Me too. Big fan of rain.
I'm not feeling that well today, so I've had a COVID test yesterday, so I'm in isolation for 48 hours. I think it's just a cold. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but it's a little bit huskier today. So I've got a glass of water beside me. I'm ready to go, and I'm ready to talk about a tragedy that happened a few weeks ago. Travis Scott. You've seen Travis Scott live?
Twice.
And if I'm not mistaken, in the podcast, you said that Travis Scott has a history of really revving up an audience.
Yeah, so basically, Travis Scott's whole persona, his whole aesthetic, his brand, if you will, is the idea of rage. That's kind of the word he co-opted.
Right.
His fans are called ragers. And that's kind of the energy that surrounds Travis as an artist. And obviously a couple weeks ago at his Astroworld Festival, that the downside and what can come from that was put on display, and a really horrible tragedy ensued. Very, very unfortunate situation.
I think 10 people have been confirmed killed. Is that correct?
That's the last number I saw. Yeah. 10 people.
And he's been sued, if I'm not mistaken, for like $1 billion or something.
Yeah, between him, Live Nation, which is the promotion group that put on the festival.
Yeah.
I think Drake was included. Just some other contractors with ties to the festival. Yeah, I think the total number was $2 billion.
Now, I'm okay if Drake wears the entire bill, by the way. That's fine with me, as long as he never makes another song again. I think what is interesting now for his career, putting aside the tragedy for a moment, is because of the backlash that he's been facing over the last few weeks. Quite similar to the backlash that Ye has sort of felt over the last few years. I think Travis Scott now is going to be very easily dismissed anytime he comes up with anything controversial.
Yeah, he has to undergo a massive rebranding, and that also probably can't happen for a couple years. I mean, he had an album that was scheduled to drop by the end of this year. He'd been promoting it for a few months, released a couple singles. He was ready to release probably the biggest album, the biggest project of his career before this happened. And now I think from his perspective, what he needs to do is lay low for a few years and then emerge with a crazy rebranding. He has to hire the best PR team in the world if he ever has a hope of recovering from this. If he wants his image and his marketability to ever have a chance of recovering.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you've seen him twice, as you said. What were your thoughts? Because I'm assuming you were on the floor in the pit.
Yeah. So I was on the floor in the pit. And like I said, as a fan, of Travis. The whole appeal of going to the live show is that the energy is so crazy and that it gets so hectic and that there's big, massive mosh pits and you can jump around and shove other people and get shoved back. And really that's what the whole appeal is. He encourages that. That's what's expected at his concerts. The first time I saw Travis Scott is when he opened for Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
And so I was on the floor of that one, but it was at the Air Canada Centre and they had seats. So it wasn't like a pit.
Right.
And when he was performing at one point, I remember he said, all right, like, fuck the seats. Everyone stand up on the seats, or like try and rush the stage. Like, let's get this crazy. And we did for a few songs before security like kicked us all back to our proper seats.
Sure.
And then when I saw him again, it was for his big, massive headline tour. It was a full general admission pit, massive mosh pits. I'm talking like 20 feet across and then collapsing, just filled with people. And I personally, I had a great time at both, right? Like I felt safe, given the circumstances. I enjoyed myself. Everyone I went with did. At the Astroworld Festival, it was, I think it was just a complete disaster from every angle in terms of the organizational factors. You look at the space they were trying to fit that many people into, the amount of security and medical staff they had on hand for the event, their emergency plans. I mean, the emergency preparedness document for the festival actually leaked online, and I took a look through it. And the only thing that they had protocols in place for in terms of a medical emergency was if there was a mass shooting or if there were drug overdoses in the crowd. They didn't have, they weren't prepared for anything like what had happened. They had no protocol, no plan in place. The only two people who had the authority to stop the show were the executive producer and the stage manager. And they were just completely unprepared for the possibility of what happened.
Now, I don't know if you know this, but general admission shows in the States was banned for like 20 years. There was a tragedy, I believe it was 1977 in Cincinnati for The Who, where it was a general admission show and all these people rushed the stage when the doors opened, and a lot of people died and a lot of people were crushed in sort of the pandemonium of trying to get close to the stage. So for years in the States specifically, general admission shows were not.
So I was familiar with this event after it got brought up again in the news cycle because of the Astroworld situation. So I did learn a little bit about this specific incident.
So it's only been the last 20 years or so that general admission shows were available in the States. So the United States has a history of reacting quickly to things, maybe not in the best manner. If you look at the Patriot Act after 9/11, which wasn't a good idea. So I'm curious, of all the conspiracy theories going around that there's some satanic ritual going on and all this bullshit. So I'm curious what the mothers and fathers of the right-wing America does after
those
after
conspiracy theories that I saw someone on Fox News saying that this was a satanic ritual sacrifice. It, like you said, it's all bullshit. And honestly, I find that to be the most disrespectful thing that someone could say about something like this. Trying to shift the blame or reframe it or politicizing it in any way or anything like that. I find that to be so disrespectful to the victims and the families of the victims, people who have been permanently disabled from this. It's just ridiculous to say that's the case,
Well, here's hoping that for the people involved in the show and the people that are seeking justice, that it is done and that something good happens out of the show.
I really hope so. It's going to be a long lawsuit process. The legal proceedings for this are going to be long and drawn out, but I hope that whatever results from it, whatever they decide the culpability is for all the parties, everyone involved, be it Live Nation, who planned and promoted and organized the festival, Travis Scott for his role in inciting anything. I hope they're all held responsible to the degree that they should be.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting couple of years.
Most
for
definitely.
Sure. All right, let's get into some music. You're going first this week. Tell us about your song.
Right. So for this week, I picked the song Holocene, which is by Bon Iver, Bon Iver they're like Tame Impala, where it's sort of the stage name for an artist. His name is Justin Vernon. This song is from Bon Iver's second album. It's self-titled, came out in 2011, and it's just a really beautiful folk rock song. It hits all the right spots for me. I think it's fantastic. But before I ask you how you liked it, Darren, why don't you just hit play? Alright, so that's Holocene by Bon Iver. Before you say your piece, let me just say that song perfectly encapsulates the way that rainy autumn days make me feel. It's perfectly distilled into a song.
Yeah, I liked it, and there was one part of the song I didn't like, and I'll tell you that at the end what I didn't like about the song. It's a really sparse song. There's a lot of room in it.
Yes.
I have no idea what the lyrics are. There's sort of an effect, or I don't know if that's a singing style, where I couldn't actually make out a single lyric at all. So to me, the song's more like a painting, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it makes complete sense. And I think of this song almost as an ambient music piece, really.
That's a perfect description, yeah.
It's very atmospheric, and like a lot of the music I like, more about the vibe that you get from it and how it makes you feel, for sure. There is one lyric in the song that I do love, and it's when he says, "At once I knew I was not magnificent," and that really sums up the whole meaning behind this one. I looked up to see what his inspiration was in making this song, because even if you look at the lyrics, I know you said you couldn't understand them, but even if you go look, it's pretty abstract, very up for interpretation. But Justin Vernon said that this song is about the significance and meaning that you can find when you come to terms with the insignificance of life overall. And so that line, when he says he realized he was not magnificent, that's sort of what it's all about. It's coming to terms with that realization that in the grand scheme of things, our existence, our individual lives, we're little more than dust in the cosmic timeline, really.
Yeah. I really loved the video for this song, actually. It looked like it was filmed in Iceland, I'm going to say. And,
I believe it was.
And it depicts it. The whole video is just about a little boy sort of running through the fjords or the fields of Iceland. And it sort of just follows him. And I thought that was a really good representation of what the song was. It has sort of like this really innocent, wondering kind of feel to it. I thought the choice of Iceland was perfect. And the choice of just having a little boy just in his little Icelandic sweater just running around was absolutely perfect.
Yeah, it looked like he was having a great time running around too.
Yeah, he did.
looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this song it's very melancholic in the best possible way, but it is very melancholic, and it's sparse, like you said, and so the visual it suits it really well.
Yeah. Now, how did you come across Bon Iver or Bon Iver?
So I first came across Bon Iver from his work on Kanye's My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy album.
Right.
So that album came out in 2010, and he was kind of just all over the album, contributing in different places. He would have background vocals, again, with the effects, with the vocoder and stuff like that. Really contributed a lot to the album. And even one of the songs, it uses a pretty heavy interpolation and sample of one of Bon Iver's songs.
Right.
So that's where I discovered him, all from his work with Kanye, and been a fan ever since.
Right. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. I'm not the biggest Kanye fan in the world, but I do like the fact that he does interweave a lot of different artists into his music. It's not just hip hop or in that genre. He does bring in a lot of people into his little sound, which is really good.
Exactly. Yeah, he really just works with so many different pieces, so many different people, and it results in collaborations that I could never dream of. There's a song from Kanye's Yeezus album, which came out in 2013. And on it is Kanye, Bon Iver, and Chief Keef, who's this like gangster rapper from Chicago. Like, just makes basically music about murdering and selling drugs, right? And who would ever think that a indie folk rock artist like Bon Iver could work on a song with an artist like that, like Chief Keef? It's nuts. But it really speaks to the versatility of artists nowadays, not just Kanye. But Bon Iver, since this song came out in 2011, even he has done so much in terms of experimentation, trying new techniques, a lot of sampling, a lot of looping. He's really gone crazy with the vocal effects in the years since. And that's just what good artists are nowadays. They're so versatile and able to do so many different things.
Yeah. As I said, the only thing I didn't like about this song, overall, I really liked the song. I thought it was lovely. The only thing I didn't like about the song is at 6 minutes, I thought it overstayed its welcome a little bit. There's no big dynamic changes in the song. It's pretty much the same song throughout, from the opening to the closing. So I thought it, 6 minutes, I think it's 5 minutes and 41 seconds, the entire song. I thought you could probably shave off like a minute and a half, and it would still have the same impact.
I agree with that. Yeah, I completely agree. I think that's fair. Like, there's a really nice part in the middle.
There is.
Almost like a bridge where the instrumentation almost completely disappears and then the drums slowly roll in. But that's really the only example of a climax or anything like that in the song.
Absolutely, yes. But again, that was his vision, to have it that long, and that's great. Yeah,
and as you identified at the start, very sparse song, very minimal. But if you really, really try to pay attention to the production, there's a lot of different layers to the instrumentation. So many different layers. Ooh. I watched a really good YouTube video actually breaking down the production of this song. And when I tell you, he must have had at least 100 different tracks in the recording software for this. It's unbelievable.
Right. Okay. That's the beauty of modern music. You can have limitless tracks, really.
You really can. The sky's the limit when it comes to creativity nowadays.
On Disney Plus, there's a Beatles documentary that just got released today or yesterday, I guess.
Oh, is that out?
Yeah, and there's a scene where they're just sort of just jamming, and they're talking about an 8-track recorder. I was like, "Are we going to bring out the 8-track?" And I'm like, "Oh God." The Beatles and their bloody 8-track, yeah. So it's limitless now what you can do.
It is. It really, really is. And I've just got one other thing I want to say about Bon Iver is his first album, not the one this song is from, but his debut album was called For I Met Forever Ago. And he wrote that when he just kind of decided to isolate himself in a cabin in Wisconsin during the winter. He went up there all by himself for 3 months, and out of it came one of the best debut albums I've ever heard from an artist.
Right.
And I thought that's so interesting, so cool. But you often hear about artists doing that sort of thing, don't you? Like just isolating themselves or putting themselves in weird situations outside of their comfort zone, and something good comes out of it.
Yeah. No, that's pretty common with a lot of artists that they almost need to remove all their stimulus from their life and just go away for a bit. That's happened throughout music, at least modern music history.
Yeah, so if you're an aspiring artist and you really want to make it big, you want to make a crazy debut album, go to a cabin for the winter all by yourself, and something good will come out of it, surely.
And take Drake with you, please.
And leave him there. Right?
Leave him there.
Yeah.
No, I really like the song. Again, that was the only little thing I had. It was a little bit too long, but other than that, it was a lovely, lovely song.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hopefully, when it's a rainy day, I heard Darren say that it's been rainy there. If it's a rainy, cold day, you should throw this on. It's really wonderful.
The joys of living in Queensland. When it rains, it rains. I think we have forecast for rain for 2 weeks, I think.
Wow.
So
that's excessive.
Living in the tropics, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Darren, what did you think of the song?
Yeah, no, I've always liked this song. It's been on my playlist for a while.
Cool.
I'm glad to hear it.
There you go. All right, we're going to move on to Ween. Now, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this song. There's really no need to spend a lot of time on the song. From last week with our heavy episode, I wanted to do something a little bit different. So this is Ween with their song, Mr. Would You Please Help My Pony? Darren, just hit play.
Mr. Would you please help my pony?
Only Ween could write a happy song about a pony that's about to die. That's all I got to say about that. Nicholas, what did you think about Mr. Would You Please Help My Pony? And I'm guessing you've never heard Ween before?
No, never have.
Okay, tell me what you think.
It's a very interesting song, to say the least.
Yeah.
It's got like this super light, carefree, dreamy quality. I like that. That was really nice. It's pretty psychedelic. I didn't like the opposite of grounded, whatever the word is for the opposite of a grounded in reality song. That's not what this is. It's nonsensical, whimsical, pretty fun. They're clearly not taking themselves seriously, so yeah, I don't know. It's a good song from an technical standpoint.
Yeah,
pretty ridiculous though. I got
absolutely say. Yeah. That's Ween. Yeah. So Ween formed in 1984. There's two main members of Ween, Gene and Dean Ween, not the real names.
Okay.
They can play anything. They have songs that are funk, soul, country, gospel, prog rock, psychedelica, R&B, heavy metal, punk rock. They sort of just can play everything.
Yeah, that's what was striking me when I was listening to this song was the lyrics, like I said, not taking themselves seriously at all. But under that, they're really good musicians. Like, the instrumental is fantastic. There's a really, really good guitar solo. Yeah. But yeah, it's I don't know if the other music is like this, where it's not where it's not taking itself seriously or anything. But regardless of that, it's from a technical standpoint, solid. Okay,
apparently there's a story that goes with this song. It's never been verified, but this is the story. Supposedly, Dean and Gene had just finished writing a song called Spinal Meningitis Got Me Down.
It'll do that to you.
And if you ever want to hear a creepy song, it's very funny. I love that song. It's really funny. But Spinal Meningitis Got Me Down is sung from the point of view of a little boy to his mother.
Okay.
And like there's a little boy voice, and he's like asking his mother if he's going to die and all this kind of stuff. It's really funny, but not everyone likes that song. So they had just finished writing Spinal Meningitis Got Me Down in their hotel room while taking a lot of drugs. Gene was hungry, went downstairs for food, and he saw a headline in a newspaper that said, "Am I gonna die, mommy?" which was very similar to the line of the song that they had just finished writing. He got really freaked out, and he ran back up to tell Dean, but he found Dean had started to come down from the drugs, and he was curled up, shivering, repeating, "Mister, would you please help my pony? I think it's his lung." And they made it into a song.
Wow.
I have no idea if that's true.
It probably is, honestly.
But it's
just my gut feeling says that's true.
It sounds pretty true.
Yeah. This is the type of song that a lot of drugs result in making.
Yeah. Now, I've seen Ween twice. I saw them with my friend Andrew on their country music tour, which their hit song for the country music tour was "Piss Up a Rope." And,
nice.
We were really high, and they played for over 4 hours.
4 hours?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Now, do you know when a band is finishing a song and they do sort of like, big crescendo at the end?
Yep.
The crescendo at the end of each song, not just one song or two songs, each song lasted for about 3 or 4 minutes.
Oh my God.
Just the crescendo.
That sounds fantastic, but a lot.
Each song, like not like one or two songs, each song. And just when you think the crescendo is just about to end, they start it up again. And when you think it's going to end, they start it up again. When you're really high, it's really funny. But 4 hours is a long time to handle that kind of show.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh my God. There's another band like that. Fish, I think. Is that their name?
Yeah. I don't know Fish that well, but that sounds like a very Fish thing to do.
From my understanding, similar type thing where they will just kind of jam, right? The Grateful Dead, they also do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not much really to say about this song. Like you said.
There isn't at all.
It's good. I don't know how much I'll come back to it.
Yeah.
But when I do, it will be for the guitar solo. I really, really enjoyed that part of the song.
Ween might make an appearance. There is a particular Ween song that I really want you to listen to. It's not Spinal Meningitis Got Me Down, but it's another song.
Okay. I think I might go listen to Spinal Meningitis anyway.
Please do. It's, what's funny? Every person who's heard that song has disliked it immensely. I think it's hilarious, but I don't have
Okay.
I don't have children.
Well, maybe I'll like it immensely too. Or
There you
sorry,
go.
yeah, where everyone dislikes it immensely, maybe I'll like it immensely. You never know. You never
And,
know.
and in the 90s, Ween was one of my favorite bands, and I'd like to apologize to anyone that drove around with me in my car. They probably got a lot of Ween, so my apologies. I
Oh,
think they're an amazing band, but there was a lot of Ween that got to me.
this is the type of music that you got to keep to yourself, though.
Absolutely, I didn't.
Well, yeah, I think that
Yeah,
apology is warranted.
yeah. So yeah, for all the people that drove around with me in the 90s that listened to Ween, well, you probably didn't have another ride. So what are you going to do?
What are you
So
gonna do? Yeah, driver gets to pick the music. It's how it goes.
absolutely, yeah. So Darren, what did you think of Mister Would You Please Help My Pony?
It was definitely different.
I wanted something different from last week, so
Yeah,
there
yeah,
you go.
different is good.
Yeah.
It's always good.
Okay, well, let's pick our songs for next week. Do you know what I'm listening to?
I do. So you are listening to Family Ties by Baby Keem featuring Kendrick Lamar. It just got nominated for Rap Song of the Year at the Grammys.
Cool.
So yeah, listen to that one. It's pretty good.
All right, I'm going to pick a song for you. I don't know if you know this song. Do you know Barracuda by Heart?
Barracuda. Is that the one where they go, Barracuda?
Yes, okay, you do know that song.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
do know it.
We are going to go with. Remember a few weeks ago when we were talking about the Pulp song, and they said it was the second best song of the '90s.
Yes.
We're going to go with what I think it was Spin Magazine, or I can't remember what Pitchfork. I think it was you're reading. That Pitchfork said that "Gold Sounds" by Pavement was the best song of the '90s.
Okay.
So
I
you're
will
going to
listen to Gold Sounds.
"Gold
by
Sounds"
Pavement.
by Pavement.
Awesome.
Okay, and we have we have something new that we're going to do this week. We're going to listen to a cover and an original song. And we're going to let our audience pick to see who liked the song better. Usually I'd come up with like a little funny little sting, but I'm sick. I haven't done it. We'll do it next time. So we're going to do this the last episode of every month. So the first song we're going to listen to is Bob Dylan, Lay Lady Lay. Darren, just hit play.
Lay, lady, lay, lay across my big brass bed. Lay, lady, lay, lay across my big brass bed.
There's Bob Dylan being really, really creepy. And the cover is by Ministry called Lay Lady Lay. Darren, just hit play. I wanted to pick two very different songs, and I think I have. Nick?
I'd say you succeeded, yeah.
The cover or the original? Which one are you going for?
I'm going for the cover, and I'll explain why. I have a take. It may be a hot take. I'm not sure what the general consensus is on Bob Dylan. I have a take that Bob Dylan truly, his best aspect is his songwriting and his lyricism. And I think that is best shown and best seen in other people covering his music. And I think Bob Dylan is at his best when it's other people interpreting the beautiful lyrics he writes. And for that reason, I got to go with the cover here.
Yeah, I agree with you. There are some Bob Dylan songs that I really love, but I like the Ministry, Lay Lady Lay, so much better than the original. The original one is kind of creepy.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
Not that, Ministry are a creepy band as well. How the lead performer in Ministry is someone named Al Jorgensen. How Al Jorgensen is still alive is beyond me, but he is. and still touring. Apparently, he has to wear a football helmet because he collapses a lot.
Oh, okay. He's prone to seizures.
Yeah, too much drugs over the years.
It'll have that effect.
Yeah, but I like the Ministry song myself. So now we're going to put it out there. So we're going to put it on our Instagram page. We're going to put out the original and the cover. And please vote on who you liked better, Bob Dylan or Ministry. And then I'll put it on the Facebook page as well. And then we'll reveal what everyone chose next week.
Absolutely, we will. Yeah, I'm very curious to see what goes on. I think the Ministry song is much more palatable for a modern audience, but we'll have to see.
Darren, which one did you like?
Well, I clearly don't fall into a modern audience, so Bob Dylan.
Right, there's a vote for Bob Dylan and 2 votes for Ministry. All right, we just have our independent artists to go now. So, Nick, lovely talking to you this week. Anything going on for the rest of your day?
Not particularly, just the usual school. I did download this year's FIFA video game, and I've been playing that a lot, so probably play that at some point tonight once I'm done my school, but that's about it.
What console are you playing it on?
I'm on my PS5.
I have a PS4. Can we play? Can we play each other on different consoles?
No, unfortunately, you can't do the crossplay.
All right, never mind. I was going to say let's spark up a Manchester Liverpool game, but next time when I get a PS5, we'll talk about that.
Yes, there you go.
Okay. Our independent artist this week is a band called Passionfruit, and they have a new single called Fuzzy. It's a very laid-back song. I love how laid-back it is. The song has so much room to breathe, kind of like the Bon Iver song that we listened to. They're based out of Brisbane and are playing some local dates, which I will put in the show notes. So please check them out, and then go see their show if you like them. Darren, just hit play, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Listening to Just Hit Play. To contact your hosts, Peter and Nick, or to be featured on an episode as musical talent, email justhitplay7300@gmail.com. Keep up to date with news and announcements by following on Instagram and Facebook, linked in the show notes. Subscribe on your favourite podcatcher to tune in next week for more sonic delights. And if you can't wait till then, check out the Just Hit playlist on Spotify, linked in the show notes. A special thanks to Braden Munch for the theme song, and thank you for listening.